This is the time and place set for a parole violation here for Jennifer Robinson. Ms. Robinson, your offender number is 151922, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, my name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole. I'll be conducting your hearing today. On the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers, as well as Agent Hawley from AP&P. Ms. Robinson and Agent Hawley, I need to swear both of you in. If you could each please raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Great, thank you. Ms. Robinson, did you receive at least 7 days notice of this hearing?
Yes, I did.
And did you receive your disclosure packet?
Yes, I did.
And have you had a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today's hearing?
Yes, I did have.
Very good. Okay, good. All right, let me start with Ms. Conyers. We have 2 allegations today. How are we handling those?
And the technical issues may be mine for a minute because my notes are being slow to pull up. Here they are. Just one quick second.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So how we're handling those is we are admitting on both absconding and leaving Orange Street.
Okay. All right, Ms. Robinson, before I accept your admissions, I need to make sure you understand that you do have the right to require AP&P to prove these allegations at an evidentiary hearing. That hearing would look like a trial where AP&P has to put on evidence to show that it's more likely than not that you violated your parole in the way that they have alleged. You would be given an attorney at no cost to you, and through that attorney, you'd be able to cross-examine AP&P's witnesses as well as decall any of your own witnesses and or produce any exhibits you felt necessary for your defense. Do you understand these rights, Ms. Robinson?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that by entering these admissions today, you're waiving your right to that evidentiary hearing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right, very good. I'll accept the admissions as knowingly and voluntarily entered. We'll revoke your prior parole date. So, Ms. Robinson, I'm going to just have a brief conversation with your attorney, then one with Agent Hawley, and then you and I will have a conversation, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Conyers, any additional information and or recommendation?
We are asking for an immediate release and another opportunity at parole. It sounds like she has a surgery scheduled for a hernia that she needs to take care of. So that's her request. One thing that she is really struggling with is it's really hard for her to get an apartment. She is employable, but it sounds like when people Google her and see her past, it makes it just really hard to get an appointment or an apartment. So she may need some additional assistance with that. But I think her main priority right now is just getting that schedule or that surgery done. And then that should, then she should be able to, you know, do everything else she needs to for parole.
Okay. Agent Hawley, any recommendation?
You know, given her expansive absconding history, I recommend that if she is granted another opportunity at parole, that GPS requirements be mandatory for at least a year while she's on parole. Give her a chance to stay accountable. I think on this last attempt, she had a GPS unit and even cut that. So I'm worried about her expansive absconsion history. This last time she was picked up in California and she had to be extradited. But that's it. That's what I've got.
Okay. All right, thank you. Just 1 second, Ms. Robinson. All right, Ms. Robinson, now's your opportunity to speak. Tell me what's going on here. We have multiple abscondings in the past. Once again, we absconded. You're at Orange Street. I understand there's an issue with residences, but what's causing you to abscond?
I just feel like it's a change in thinking that I've had to have, and I've had that in here this time. I really, after this last absconsion, some stuff happened that was really traumatizing, and I don't want to risk that happening again.
Can you, you don't need to get into detail if you don't want to, but these traumatic experiences you went through, was that in prison or while you're on parole?
While I was out, when I was on the run.
Just this last time, just before you were
Yes.
brought back this time?
Yes.
Okay. Just 1 second. So is I mean, again, not wanting to probe into the traumatic experience, but did you find yourself, I mean, once you're living outside of the law, you no longer have the protection of the law.
Yeah,
Is
I
that kind
know.
of where you found yourself?
Yes, I
I'm
understand.
I'm asking, that's where you found yourself, was suddenly you're like, oh, now I have no recourse because,
No, that's not what happened.
okay,
Okay, I just felt like I couldn't fix the situation because I was already considered on the run.
okay.
I don't want to go into detail because I don't want it to look like I'm not accepting responsibility for what happened.
All right. That's understandable. Was there any drug use on this parole?
Nope.
So you talk about the mindset changing. What's gonna stop you from getting out and being like, yeah, it wasn't that bad, I'll go ahead and abscond again?
No, it was bad what happened.
Okay,
I really don't even think I'll be able to go back to the place of employment I worked because it was connected to that.
okay. Or tell me about your mental health. What are you being treated?
Well, I'm seeing mental health here every couple of weeks to deal with what happened out there. But I'm very, very stable. I haven't had any self-harm incidents or anything like that.
Are you currently taking meds?
No, I don't take meds anymore.
Okay,
I'm
right,
more
cool.
stable off of them than I am on them.
okay, all right, very good. And then your physical health, anything other than your hernia that needs to be fixed, anything the board needs to be aware of?
I am type 2 diabetic, but that's very much under control. I control it with diet and exercise. I have sarcoidosis, which is a rare disease, and it affects my lungs.
Uh-huh.
And that's about it.
Okay. So what is your plan if you're granted another parole? Where would you go?
I have to go to Orange Street or find a program. I have nowhere else to go.
So knowing that your previous employment is not an option, do you have plans for employment, or would you just have to find something when you got out?
I would look for something else, yes.
And what type of work do you like to do?
Manual labor.
You feel pretty confident you'd be able to find something?
Oh yeah. I just have to get this hernia fixed and I can be able to work when I'm healed.
Okay. And then, is there still a need for ongoing treatment?
I really feel like I don't need treatment because I have not used or drank any of my paroles. I have no desire to. In fact, the smell of alcohol makes me sick. Like I feel like the only treatment I would need is like maybe to help with the trauma, and that's it. And I was getting outpatient treatment at Amethyst Center for Healing after I finished the classes at Orange Street.
Okay, well, I mean, standard conditions of parole are to do an assessment to determine what needs there are. You have no issues with that, right?
No, I have no issues with that.
And if they say, if the assessment came back and said, we think you should do some treatment, you'd be willing to do that treatment, correct?
Of course, of course.
All right. All right, well, very good. You've answered all of my questions. Is there anything we haven't talked about? Anything else you wanted to say on your behalf?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll proceed as we have in the past. I'll take my report to the board. They'll deliberate and make their final decision. Once they've made their decision, they do post it online almost immediately after it's made, and so it's readily available for those on the outside. You can find out by talking to them. The board does send you a letter, however, and directly. So if you aren't in contact with anybody on the outside, then you can just wait for that letter to arrive with their decision. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions for me?
Nope.
All right. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is the time and place set for a parole violation hearing for DEON Thornton. Mr. Thornton, your offender number is 238401. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. My name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole. I'll be conducting your hearing this morning. On the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers, as well as Agent Foster from APP.
Now you can't hear me, can you?
I can hear
Now
you.
we can hear you. Can you hear us, Kate?
Yes.
Sorry. Kate, can you hear me? Agent Foster, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Mike, everybody can hear you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Thornton and Agent Foster, I need to swear both of you in. If you could each please raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate?
Yes.
Right. Mr. Thornton, did you receive at least 7 days notice of this hearing?
Yes.
And did you receive your disclosure packet?
Yes.
And then did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today's hearing?
Yes.
All right, very good. All right, Ms. Conyers, I'll note for the record, Mr. Thornton is facing criminal charges in cases ending in 0204 and 0093. Looks like there's a pretrial conference scheduled in about 2 weeks. Those are related to many of the allegations. We do have 23 allegations today. Ms. Conyers, how are we handling those allegations? Do we have? Can you not hear me?
I'll just continue using my phone,
Okay, that works. All right.
since, and I'll figure this out later. Okay. So where we are at is that I did have a chance to speak with Mr. Thornton on Monday. He does have two pending cases. We did discuss how he may actually expire first, but he'll let us know when those charges are done.
Okay. So are we entering denials?
Yes, we'll enter denials and ask to continue for 90 days.
Okay, that works. And thank you for pointing out, I did not know that his sentence expires soon. All right, Mr. Thornton, I'm sure as I'll just repeat what your attorney, I'm sure, has told you. Because there are pending charges, we can't resolve the issue as to whether you violated your parole, just to preserve your rights. So we will enter denials or you'll enter denials to all these allegations today. Once you have resolved your case, if you'll let the board know, then we will put you back on the appropriate calendar. If your case does expire, then chances are you'll be released from the Utah State Prison or the state correctional facility, but into custody of somebody else to be held in anticipation of that those other criminal charges being held.
Okay.
But there again, even if you're even if you're released from Utah State custody, you still, if you'll let the board know. Actually, I guess at that point it doesn't matter. You'll just come, if you're convicted, you come back with a new matrix if you're sentenced to prison. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But if they are resolved before you're released or before your case expires, please let us know. We'll get you back on the appropriate calendar. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Agent Foster, any issues with that? Okay. All right. Then we will proceed. I'll take judicial notice of the pending charges. I'll note the denials. I do find probable cause to continue the hearing, and we'll set this for a paper review in 90 days. And then, like I said, Mr. Thornton, if you'll just let us know if those get resolved before your case expires, then we'll get you
Okay.
back soon. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
This is the time and place set for a parole violation hearing for Ronald Hand. Mr. Hand, your offender number is 45338, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, my name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and I'll be conducting your hearing this morning. There on the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers. We don't have a representative from AP&P present at this time. If they do sign in, we'll swear them in when they sign in. But Mr. Hand, I do need to put you under oath for this hearing. If you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Hand, did you receive at least 7 days' notice of this hearing?
Yes, sir.
And did you receive your disclosure packet?
The blue packet, yes, sir.
All right, very good. And then did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today's hearing?
I can't hear him.
Michael, will you repeat that?
Yeah, did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today? Oh, here we go. All right, does that help a little bit more, Mr. Hand?
Yeah,
You hear me better now?
yes, sir.
Okay, we get Mr. Hand some headphones. Mr. Hand, did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today's hearing?
This lady right here?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, she's your attorney, you understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, yeah, so you met with her in preparation for today's hearing.
Yes.
I'll note for the record, Mr. Hand was facing a misdemeanor charge related to the allegations in case ending in 0005. Had a pretrial conference on Monday. From what he told us, it sounds like that case was resolved. That's related to allegation 1. Ms. Conyers, I'll turn to you. We have the 2 allegations. How are we handling those today?
Yes, on number 1, we'll admit, it sounds like, and maybe we can check later and see if it was both an assault charge. Sir, do you happen to know if you pled as charged or to a different charge?
It was, well, what happened is we were arguing and over a pack of cigarettes and
Well, sir, pause for one moment. Do you know if you pled guilty in court on Monday to assault, which is what you were charged with, or to a different charge?
no, it was to the assault.
Okay, so we'll admit to number 1, and you'll be able to take judicial notice once that updates. And then number 2, he'll say no contest.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hand, there's a couple of things I need to make sure you're aware of before I accept your pleas to these 2 allegations. First of all, the consequences of a no contest plea are the same as those of an admission. Do you understand that?
The same as pleading guilty.
They're the same as an admission to the allegations. So the consequences are the same. We'll revoke your prior parole, whether you admit or whether you plead no contest to the allegation. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then you do have the right to require AP&P to prove both of these allegations as parole violations at an evidentiary hearing. And that hearing would look like a trial where AP&P would have to put on evidence. They'd have to meet the burden of proof, only that it's more likely than not. So a much lesser proof than they would have to meet if it were a criminal charge, because it would just be a question of whether you violated your parole or not. But at that hearing, you would have the right to defend yourself. You'd be given an attorney at no cost to you. And through that attorney, you'd be able to cross-examine AP&P's witnesses, as well as call your own witnesses and produce any exhibits you felt necessary for your defense. And you would also have the right to remain silent with respect to allegations of criminal conduct. Do you understand these rights, Mr. Hand?
I believe so. I just don't want to do none of that.
Okay. And so my next question is, by entering these 2 pleas, you understand that you're waiving your right to that evidentiary hearing. We won't do that evidentiary hearing because you're admitting and entering a no contest plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
take up no more time of the board.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, then I'll accept these pleas as knowingly and voluntarily entered. And because of that, we will revoke your prior parole date without doing an evidentiary hearing. So now we can move on to where we can talk about whether you get another parole or not. So I'm going to first talk to your attorney and ask her for some information, and then you and I will have a conversation. Okay, Mr. Hand?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Ms. Conyers, any recommendation or additional information?
Yes, so he is looking, when I discussed with him kind of what his priority is moving forward, is that he is really looking forward to getting back into treatment. He tells me he had an amazing therapist named Amanda and is looking forward to starting classes. He plans to live with a friend in Ogden. He does have some money, some retirement, but he works, he plans to live with that friend in Ogden, and that friend has a wrecking yard where Mr. Hand plans to be a nighttime guard or help pull parts. At some point, when he's more financially secure and stable, he says his sister is going to help him get his own house. I think one of the main reasons he's looking forward to kind of getting back to therapy and on the outside is sadly his mother passed away recently, and so he wants to be able to grieve with his family and be able to get some assistance in processing his grief.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Hand, now's your opportunity to speak. Let's talk about the incident with your girlfriend. What happened?
We went to dinner, and on the way home, we stopped and got a pack of cigarettes. And then in between stopping and getting the cigarettes and stopping at a friend's house, somehow the cigarettes come up missing. And so we pulled over and was looking for the cigarettes, and she was getting upset. I was helping her. I don't even smoke. And so she has PTSD. And when she gets in one of those argument moods where if you don't settle her down, she'll take off. And I tried to put her back in the car to talk to her, because I've done this with her before, and to settle her down. And we got in a pushing match with the car door a little bit, and it hit her in the leg. Didn't hurt her. And she said, "Let me go." I let her go. She took off. And 4 hours later, she calls me up and tells me, "Well, come get me." And I went and got her. Well, we went home, spent the night, watched movies all the next day. When the arresting officer came, he walks in the house and says, "Aren't you the victim?" She says, "Yes." And he goes, "What are you doing here?" And she goes, "Well, I live here." So she wasn't in fear for her life. It was just a lover spat over a pack of cigarettes. And it's here we are today.
Okay. Okay.
It's, we've been in arguments before, and I can settle her down, and she's a really great girl. She just has some mental issues, but I think everybody's got a little bit of that, but
Fair. Are you still in a relationship with her?
I don't know. I wasn't allowed to contact her.
Okay.
I'm hoping so. I really care for her.
Looks like, so was there any drug use on this parole?
No, not one bit. I even, at Alpha, I passed my first lie detector test. So I was going to my classes. I saved my money up. I still have money saved up for these classes. And I passed my first lie detector test. And I'm a slow learner, but I was learning. And like I said, I do have money saved up to get back into counseling. I don't have to depend on Medicare or Medicaid to pay for my stuff. I save my money out of my checks once a month for these classes. And the reason why I didn't complete the classes is because I was arrested and brought here, but I was going every 4 times a month. And I did miss some times, and it probably seemed poorly of me not being able to attend all my classes. I had COVID twice, and then when Mom died, it was just depression and stuff like that.
So I do note that it looks like you missed more than 50% of your treatment sessions.
They would have kicked me out a long time ago if I would have done that.
Well, I'm just saying, that's what they're reporting to me, is that you missed over 50%. So Whether that
Well,
kicks you out or not, I don't know, but it
I
does
wa-
show that from again, what I'm saying is this isn't a priority for you.
Well, it is, sir. And I want to prove to the Board of Pardons that I can put 100% in this and get this over with and pass these classes.
How is your mental health?
I get, I'm claustrophobic, so anxiety, and they give me some pills that are making me calm way down and just not so energetic, you know, and just, and it seems to be helping a lot. It's just mood stabilizer or whatever, just,
Just to mellow out a little bit.
yeah. I've been hyper my whole life,
Gotcha.
but I haven't had a drug use in 12 years, 13 years, whatever, and I feel so much better.
Good.
I've never had a dirty urine ever. I don't drink.
How's your physical health? Any issues there that the board needs to be aware of? Anything that would prevent you from being successful on parole?
Oh, no. I need knee surgery. Tanner Clinic was gonna, I had this right knee replaced here in prison. And then when I got out, I was gonna have this knee replaced because it's bone to bone. And that's about the only thing that's wrong,
Okay.
is get my knee replaced.
And then tell me about your relationship with the gang.
I'm not in the gang, sir.
I saw that you're associated with Hell's Angels.
No, I like the tattoo, and I got the tattoo, and you know, clear back in the day, you know, how you think you're so cool and this and stuff, but I'm past all that. And I heard that they have a tattoo removal place here, and I want to get them taken off. Matter of fact, I want to get all these taken off. I don't understand why I put them on there, but I did, and I need to get them off.
Okay. So you were never part of Hell's Angels?
No, never, ever.
All right.
Yeah, there's no way that.
Let's see, show Agent Gardner, are you here for the hand hearing?
No, I'm here for Patricia Montoya for Carlton.
Okay, that's fine. I just didn't want to miss you if you were here for this one, so.
Can you
thank
can you see me?
No, we can't see you, but sorry, we're on the record with Mr. Hand, so give me just a second, Agent Gardner.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hand, you've answered all of my questions. Is there anything else that you want to say on your behalf? Anything else you want to talk about today?
I just want to apologize to the board for this matter and apologize to my girlfriend, Lisa. And I take full responsibility for my actions. And like I said, I do have the money saved up so I can get back into counseling as soon as I can.
Just sorry, as you said that, I thought the way you explained the manner in which things happen with your girlfriend.
Well,
It
just
sounds like
the whole situation.
right, but what my point is, it sounds like you're saying, boy, she became agitated and you kind of got into it. You're trying to calm her down, get her back in the vehicle. Were you angry at the time, Mr. Hand?
No, I've learned tools through Alpha to, when a situation happens, to either walk away or try to calm the person down, or if they request, let me go, whatever, that's what you do. Walk away or try to calm them down, talk to them nice.
Okay,
That's what I've learned through Alpha on different situations.
all right, very good, thank you. All right, so after today, I'm going to take my report to the board. They'll take some time to deliberate. Once they've reached their decision, they do post it online almost immediately after it's reached. They also send you a letter in the mail, so you can wait for that letter to arrive, or if you're in contact with people on the outside, they can look it up on the board's website and let you know what the decision is, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this is the time and place set for a parole violation hearing for Patricia Montoya. Ms. Montoya, your offender number is 205369, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and I'll be conducting your hearing this morning. On the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers, as well as Agent Gardner, who's here on behalf of AP&P. Ms. Montoya, Agent Gardner, I need to swear both of you in. If you could each please raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. Ms. Montoya, did you receive at least 7 days notice of this hearing?
Yes, sir.
And did you receive your disclosure packet?
My blue jacket?
The blue packet, yes.
Yes.
All right, and then did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today's hearing?
Yes, I did.
All right, very good. I'll note that we were last here in front of the board back in December. Looks like Ms. Montoya entered an admission to allegation 1. Parties agreed to dismiss allegations 2 through 5. The board did accept the admission and dismissed allegations 2 through 5. Took judicial notice of the conviction. Looks like we were just awaiting sentencing, and it appears that the court did sentence Ms. Montoya to 364 days in jail, suspended that sentence, gave her credit for time served, and then closed the case. Is that your understanding, Ms. Montoya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so with that, Ms. Conyers, I do have the admission to allegation 1, the denials to allegation 2 through 5, with those having been dismissed. Anything we want to change today?
No, we'll maintain those, please.
Okay. All right, Ms. Montoya, I'm sure you are already told the admission also leads to waiving your right to the evidentiary hearing, so we'll just proceed with the disposition for the hearing today. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll just we'll reaffirm the admission, reaffirm taking judicial notice, reaffirm revoking parole. So Ms. Conyers, any recommendation?
Yes, this was her first parole. She's now been in custody for 6 months. So we are asking for release. My understanding is AP&P was asking for 120 days. We'll ask for 180. It seems like she's at that point now. And asking for another opportunity at parole. Hoping to get a parole. She already started in February doing some pre-programming at while she's been in custody. She did the pre-programming classes as well as MRT. The board should have received a couple of letters with some certificates to demonstrate some of the things she's been doing. She's also been doing some therapy and working as a night custodian. So it's really been really productive with her time in custody. If given the opportunity at parole, she would plan to live at her mother's house in West Valley City, doing a treatment program like the Odyssey House Sober Living Program. She plans to work with temp agencies so that she can make sure that she, once she has her treatment schedule, that she can work around that so work won't get in the way of that, as that is one of her top priorities. So those are her requests at this time.
All right, thank you. All right, Agent Gardner, any recommendation from AP&P?
We are fine with the same recommendation.
The same, sorry, you're concurring with what Ms. Conyers said?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify, as there was a recommendation made on previously. Does AP&P have any issue with Ms. Montoya paroling to an address, to a residence?
At this time, no, we don't have an issue with that. I talked to Carlton, who was her PO, and he said that he recommended 120 days or more than that already, so he's fine with her being released.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Montoya, now's our opportunity to speak. I've read through what you said previously at your last hearing, but talk to me again about just what was going on this, what was happening that was good on this parole?
What was happening that was good?
Yes. Looks like you were
So,
enrolled for about 2 months, right? So,
yeah. I started to build bonds with my family. Had previously just done 3 years, and so I got out and started to build connection with my mom, my sister, and my nieces. I was working for the temp agency. That was going well. I feel like this next time, hopefully I can create a little bit more structure for myself. And that's what I've already started to do as in building a stronger support system for myself with the church, and hopefully to give myself a little bit more structure by getting out and going to an outpatient program, or hopefully getting into sober living. But I feel like I had done good for like the first 50 to 60 days, and then I started to struggle. And that's kind of where things went downhill a little bit for me.
so let's talk about that for a little bit. Where did the struggle start?
With probably being triggered and just not feeling like I didn't have enough support, and like trying to get stable out there for myself. And then like other kinds of struggles started to come, like financially and transportation, and I just got really overwhelmed, especially after just doing 3 years in prison. And then so it just kind of all built up, and I didn't use my resources like I should have, and I realized that.
So what did your struggles end up with? Did you start using?
I did relapse.
What did that look like?
Drinking and smoking.
What were you smoking?
It was meth
Okay.
that I relapsed.
And were you using, so you smoked, how many times did you smoke?
Twice.
Never
Yeah.
injected?
And I left from my mom's house, which I probably should not have done. I should have just stuck it through and asked for help. But I left from my mom's, and that's kind of where I messed up, is taking off.
And so you left your mom's house. Did you go live somewhere else?
No, I didn't go live somewhere else. I just took off from there.
Gotcha.
I should not have done that.
So this wasn't like, I mean, you left mom's house kind of frustrated, overwhelmed, started hanging out with the wrong people. Like, did you stay somewhere for a bit?
No, I just kind of went back and forth between an unhealthy neighborhood.
Okay. All right. And then real briefly, talk to me about the knives. What was the situation with the knives?
I'm always used to carrying a pocket knife, and so I just had some knives in my pocket, but I was on my way to my uncle's house to go drop them off because we were having a barbecue at the park prior. And when I got stopped, I had them in my pocket.
And why did you get stopped?
Supposedly that they were looking for a female who was swinging knives in public.
Okay.
And I just happened to be one of the only females, I guess, walking in. I don't know, because they were talking about like half a block or a block away from where I was, and so I don't know. Well, got stopped, so.
So you weren't brandishing these knives, you weren't waving them around, you weren't threatening anybody with them?
No, I was not.
Are you part of a gang?
No, sir.
Never been?
Never been.
Okay. And then mental health, any issues that needs to be discussed there?
No, sir.
All right, I show that you were on,
I'm
are you still taking Buspar and Clonidine?
just boost bar. I had to get off the clonidine because it started to make me lose some of my hair.
Okay.
And I've been doing therapy. I sent in a progress report to you guys for the mental health therapy and substance abuse therapy that I've been doing every week.
And then nothing, no physical issues that need to be addressed, correct?
Correct.
All right, and I do see that you're doing some good things while you're there at the prison, engaging in treatment, kind of preparing yourself for release. Anything new or anything that wasn't mentioned by your attorney?
No, sir. I've just been doing one-on-one therapy every week since I've been counted out here to Wasatch County Jail. So since I've gotten here, like 2 weeks after, I started doing one-on-one therapy with Wasatch Behavioral Health. I have a couple certificates from like career planning and enduring skills and the master plan that I've completed. I have done a couple classes of MRT. And I've started in February. I have like 7. Today will be my 7th pre-treatment class that I've been doing
Okay.
for programming. And I am just working as night janitor here.
All right. Thank you for all that information. So we'll proceed as we have in the past. I'll take my report to the board. They'll deliberate, make a final decision. Once they've reached their decision, they'll post it online. And then they also send you a letter in the mail, so you can learn either by waiting for that letter to arrive, or if you're in contact with people on the outside who can look it up on the board's website. That can happen a lot faster than waiting for that letter to come. Okay?
Okay. Well, will they also let the case manager here know?
We just posted online, and send you that letter. So, I mean, it obviously UDC gets notice at some point because there will be a release date, likely. I said there, let me put it this way, there could be a release date attached to it. So we'll have to start preparing you to get released at some point. So I don't know how all that happens, but just await that response from the board, and then you'll know how to proceed. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
This is the time and place set for a parole violation hearing for Damion DURAN. Mr. DURAN, am I pronouncing your name correctly, sir?
Yes.
DURAN? Okay.
Yes.
Mr. DURAN, your offender number is 242982, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. My name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and I'll be conducting your hearing this morning.
All
On
right.
the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers. And then we have by audio only Agent Smith from AP&P.
Yeah.
Mr. Duran and Agent Smith, I'd like to swear both of you in. If you could each please raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate?
I do.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Mr. Duran, did you receive at least 7 days' notice of this hearing?
Yes, I did.
All right, and did you receive your disclosure packet?
Yes, I have. And
All right,
I
and then,
talked.
hold
Okay.
on. And did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for the hearing today?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's work through your attorney. Let me ask her. So I will note, that Mr. Duran is facing felony charges in case ending in 0188. Looks like that is related to 3 of the 4 allegations. So we do have 4 allegations. Ms. Conyers, how are we handling those today?
Yes, so we're going to enter denials at this time. It is a pending court case, and so we'll handle them all together at a later date. We are asking to continue for 90 days.
Okay. All right, Mr. Duran, is that your understanding of what's happening today?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, and Agent Smith, any issues with that?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, I will note the denials. I will take judicial notice of the pending charges in that case. I do find probable cause to continue the hearing. We'll set this for a paper review in about, you said 90 days, Ms. Conyers, is that right?
Yes, please. Thank you.
So, Mr. Duran, if you get things resolved more quickly than that, then please let us know at the board. The
Okay.
court will send us paperwork, but it'll sometimes get you on a calendar faster if you let us know, okay?
Okay. And then yeah, that's what she told me. She told me on Monday if I get this done sooner or later, just write the board pardon to let you guys know that I got everything done to settle with. So
Perfect.
I'll be on top of that and let you guys know.
Very good. Awesome.
Right.
All right. With that, we'll
Good.
conclude the hearing. Good luck to you, Mr. Duran.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Agent Smith. This is the time and place set for a parole violation hearing for Rodney Conover. Mr. Conover, your offender number is 77228. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. My name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and I'll be conducting your hearing this morning. On the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers, as well as Agent Aubrey from AP&P. Mr. Conover, Agent Aubrey, I need to swear both of you in. If you could each please raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. Mr. Conover, did you receive at least 7 days' notice of this hearing?
Yes, sir.
And did you receive your disclosure packet?
Yes, sir, I did.
And then did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Conyers in preparation for today's hearing?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, very good. Looks like we were last here with Mr. Conover in November. At that time, Mr. Conover was facing a second-degree felony, charge of possession with intent to distribute. Mr. Conover entered denials. Board continued the hearing. Looks like that case has been resolved. The trial court amended the second-degree felony to a third-degree, accepting Mr. Conover's guilty plea and dismissed the infraction, sentenced Mr. Conover to 7 days in jail with credit for time served, and then closed the case. Is that your understanding, Ms. Conyers?
Yes, it is.
All right. So I'll take judicial notice of that conviction. With that, we do still have 5 allegations that Mr. Conover violated his parole. How are we handling those today?
We'd like to amend them to match what happened in the case. So we will admit, and you could note the guilty plea on number 1. We'll ask to strike, deny and strike 2, 3, and 4. 2 wasn't filed, 3 was dismissed for plea, and 4 wasn't filed. And then as for 5, he will admit that.
Agent Aubrey, any response to the motion to dismiss allegations 2 through 4?
Nope. That's my understanding as to what happened in his trial case as well.
Okay, and so AP&P is willing to dismiss those allegations?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, I'll note the denials to 2 through 4, recommend dismissal based off of the stipulated motion. Mr. Conover, you are entering admissions to these 2 allegations today. I need to make sure you understand that you do have the right to require AP&P to prove these allegations at an evidentiary hearing. That hearing would look like another trial, would look like a trial where AP&P would have to put on evidence. Their burden of proof would be only a preponderance of the evidence, which means that they would only have to prove that it's more likely than not that you violated your parole. So much lesser burden of proof than beyond a reasonable doubt that occurs in a criminal trial. But at that evidentiary hearing, you would be able to defend yourself. You'd be given an attorney at no cost to you. And through that attorney, you would be able to cross-examine AP&P's witnesses, as well as the calling of your own witnesses and or produce any exhibits you felt necessary for your defense. You would also have the right to remain silent with respect to allegations of criminal conduct, but the board could draw negative inference from that. Mr. Conover, do you understand these rights?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you understand that by entering these admissions today, you are waiving your right to that evidentiary hearing?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, very good. I'll accept the admissions as knowingly voluntarily entered. We'll revoke your prior parole dates. Mr. Conover, I'm going to have a brief conversation with your attorney and then one with Agent Aubrey, and then you and I will talk at the end of the hearing, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Conyers, any recommendation?
Just a little more information on number 5. He tells me he double paid his fee for registration instead of supervision fees. So that might have been some of the problem, but he did take responsibility for it anyway. What Mr. Conover is asking for is he's asking for a termination, or maybe if it works better, an interstate compact. He'd like to go to Idaho. That's where his family is. And he plans to work with some of his sons driving truck for Staker Parsons Construction Company and also live with his son. So he's hoping to move his life completely up there where he can be surrounded by a stable environment with his family and has a job lined up. So that's his request. So whatever kind of makes more sense, either a termination so he can do that off of paper, or if it's going to be some time, which it may be a little bit, on interstate compact.
Okay. All right, Agent Aubrey, any recommendation?
That the recommendation is that's fine with us. I don't have any problem with a interstate compact. But just knowing that with an interstate compact, there is still a 45-day period that Idaho would have to investigate the compact. So he would still have to have a place here in Utah for that time once it all gets sent to Idaho. And then even then, it's not a guarantee that it would go through.
Okay.
So if the compact didn't go through, I would recommend, just because of the drug charges in this, that we also would add a substance abuse treatment that he should complete before any consideration of termination or anything like that as well.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Conover, now's our opportunity to speak. Talk to me about what was going on this pro. Looks like you were out for a good while. Were positive things happening during that time?
I was doing really well out there, doing good. Got my treatment completed and was going through, and was down visiting a friend, and met another friend. She had something on her that I didn't approve of, and we got in an argument, and dropped her off and left, and it was left in my truck. So hey, I have to take responsibility for it being there and being around her. I am. My fault, my bad. It's a very bad, very, very bad, very expensive learning mistake that I did, and I regret deeply about it.
The report indicates that you tried to hide the drugs in your pants. Is that accurate?
Actually, what I was trying to do is pick them up because I was so frustrated. I kind of dropped them 2 or 3 times, and I still handed them to the officer, and I told him what was contained and everything. That's what happened.
Okay. And why were you stopped?
The truck that I had, I was working on getting it licensed, and it had a master code of 1516 on the Chevy, which is a throttle body control module code, which sets a whole bunch of other codes off. And it,
So the car wasn't registered. That's the issue.
right.
Okay. I mean, you can tell me all about the technical issues, but that's not really necessary for today's issue.
I'm sorry. It's
No, it's fine. I get it. I get it. I know how car people
I was
get.
working on it.
Okay. All right. So you're driving a truck that was unregistered. Did you have a license to drive?
Yes, sir, I did. I was, matter of fact, on the 5th, I was supposed to take my driving test and get the hard copy, and didn't get that one.
Okay. All right. So what were the positive things that were happening on this parole?
Well, I was working a job, making 25, 22 an hour, working 3.5 days a week, and enjoying the job. Had a place to live, was current on everything except for my payments for the state, which I was trying to argue with them due to a few apparent errors that was on there, which one of them was the double payment from my registry, and the other one was the amount of interest on the restitution, which is more than the restitution, and the restitution was pointed to me 2 years ago. So I was arguing with them about it and trying to work everything out, and I just come off of a 6-week layoff period and went back to work. So I was just getting my feet back under me, and I screwed up.
So I mean, the charge has been filed and settled, and so let's just talk. So did you use drugs at all on this parole?
The only drugs I've used is my prescription drugs. Now, the last time I used meth was 20 years ago about. Well, about 20 years ago now. Like I told him, I don't want it in my life. I didn't want it in my life. And I found that, and like I says, that's one of the reasons why I was in the condition I was that night, is I was so frustrated and that I couldn't believe that that package was left in my truck on the console. I was in school, doing good. I was holding a 3.5 average. And I'd like to get that back going when I get out also. We'll see
What
how
are you
that goes.
studying? What are you studying in school?
Computer cybersecurity.
Okay. With what program?
It was Colorado Technical University.
Okay.
It's an online program. That way I could work and do my classes and all that. I was scheduled to graduate with my master's in November of 2028. So I'll have to put that out a little bit further now, which that's okay. I'm still gonna go for it.
Okay. All right. What? Excuse me. Do you have a place to live here in Utah?
I do not currently. It's like I said, my dad died while I was in prison, unfortunately. My kids are all out of state. My sisters and brothers are all out of state. And I have basically nobody here that I'm close enough to go live with.
Okay. So if you're granted a parole and the interstate compact isn't in place, then you initially need to go to a halfway house, right?
Yes, sir. Probably northern Utah once again. Since I don't know how it'd be, but possibly go back to the job I had beforehand, which, you know, I could cross my fingers, but I'm not going to hold my breath for.
Okay.
Because of the situations and that.
And then ongoing treatment, do you have treatment lined up? Do you feel like treatment's necessary at this point?
I have, like I says, I had finished my treatment, my aftercare program, about 3 weeks before this happened. And, you know, we did ask her to do all my work with everything while I was going through it. So we worked on all kinds of different stuff. I had group and one-on-one therapy with, well, I had one-on, what was all through, God, I can't even think of the name now, Alpha Counseling. And Ariel Mooney was my one-on-one therapist from the day one through the end of it. And it was very good. It was very good. I like this therapy, and it cleared a lot of things up for me.
Okay, very good. Any mental health issues the board needs to be aware of?
No, I'm quite stable.
Are you on any meds currently?
Yes, I've been on these meds for quite some time now, and they're both for PTSD and a few other anxiety and depression.
And then any physical health issues that would prevent you from being successful on parole?
No, actually, I'd be in better shape out there than I am in here.
Okay.
I just lay around in here. Out there, I'm more active.
All right. All right, you've answered all of my questions. Anything we haven't covered that you wanted to discuss today?
No, sir. I really appreciated Officer Aubrey and his guidance, and I felt like I could talk to him at any time if I had any problems.
Okay, very good. Good to hear. All right, well, we'll proceed as we have in the past. I'll take my report to the board. They will deliberate, make a final decision. Once they've done that, they'll post it online. That happens almost immediately after the decision is made, and then they do send you a letter in the mail So you can wait to get that letter, or if you're in contact with people on the outside, you can look up the board's website. They can let you know what the decision is. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. This is the time and place set for a parole violation here for Thomas CHRISMAN. Mr. CHRISMAN, your offender number is 197-911, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Micah Bruner. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole. I'll be conducting your hearing this morning. On the monitor, you'll see your attorney, Ms. Conyers, and then we have